Now today cartoon news, the highlights of this video is probably My Adventure as Superman maybe had Greenlight season 3 and season 4. It's not fully confirmed. It's sort of kind of low-key greenlit. I explain that later on of this segment. The second highlight of this cartoon breaking news, Winx Club reboot fans are a little scared because how Netflix sort of canceled everything. They think will be canceling the new reboot of Winx Club. I talk about that later. And the third highlight of this segment, especially they asked the co-creator of Marvel Animated Studios they could bring back Spider-Man of the 90s. He says maybe, we don't know. I talk about that later on and so much more in cartoon breaking news. Of course, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's all you need to do. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, thank you. I'm completely grateful all the people who help, who put like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. Because any little thing really helps. Especially, I am getting close to my main goal to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for you if you do subscribe. Now, let's talk about the first segment of the day. Now, our first segment from the day, we're gonna talk about a posting from DTV News that's very kind of confident cartoon news, specifically focused on Disney, but they actually posted something really interesting on their Twitter/X, basically saying people who has inside the club of Disney Vacation Club membership would be treated for a small sneak peek of the documentary called Just Not a Goof. That is sort of interesting because they also saying people will actually see more things like behind the scenes making of the Goofy movie, and also the deleted scenes, songs, and actors things of the documentary. If you are in the membership, you actually have a chance to actually see that. That itself is quite interesting because usually they don't have that much information of certain specific things of Disney that you have to basically dig it up yourself, maybe some interviews in the past or not. So it's sort of fun if you do have that membership, you get the first look of this documentary. That looks very interesting. But of course, be honest, I'm usually not a biggest Goofy person. That I really do enjoy the character in the movies, also the Goof Troop series. That I'm not sure they gonna probably cover it in the documentary. But besides that, it's one of those documentaries I am sort of interested. I'd be more interested with sort of Donald Duck. Mickey Mouse, not really. Let's face it, Mickey Mouse always been sort of mid. See, he always been super nice, and that's it. They remove any harmful personality or kind of kills his sort of reputation. This is the reason why they trying to update him, trying to make him. I think someone said it better, kind of like SpongeBob, a new anime series they made of the new kind of mini shorts of Disney. That kind of classic, kind of give a respect of the original black and white sort of art design. But once more, that's just me. So I'm still a little bit excited to see this documentary because it's sort of interesting what is the involvement or the evolution of that movie. Hopefully they do talk about the sequel to he also the Goof Troop. Maybe I get wrong, maybe they talk about just the movie, we just don't know. But I did not know this was a thing. So I'm happy I didn't know. How about you? Are you excited of this documentary that actually finished doing it? Will be dropping probably in Disney Plus. At least I'm guessing. There's nothing confirmed right now, but something is interesting. Now let's talk about the next segment of this cartoon breaking news. Now our next segment is from Toon Hub, and they're actually reporting or posting on the Twitter X account, basically saying Garfield has earned 8.4 billion yesterday. That basically Friday the first day domestically. Domestically is sort of inside United States, and that is not a bad number. But of course, we don't know how much it made in the animated series, so we just guessing about maybe 30 to 45 million. The only thing they do is just sort of had to be 60 or 70 to be fine. In fact, the cinema score, don't know what it is. They also posted here in Toon Hub, basically a plus B plus numbers. If you don't know what sort of cinema score is, it's sort of idea value of the film, what people actually feels like. That sort of very close knit group of people who sort of do research everything about that specific film and give it a score. The higher the score, the better. The lower the score, the kind of people who probably will not watch. B plot, it's B. I mean, B plus. I mean, B plus is actually a good rating, good enough. Especially how Rotten Tomatoes is not being friendly because the critic score is 37. Ouch. But the normal audience score is 82. That people are mixed nowadays. But what I heard about the fans saying, yeah, this is not feeling like kind of like Garfield. It feels someone put the character in this film after they decided to finish the film and realize, wait, we could put Garfield here, and they did. And that's what it feels like. At least that's what the fans are basically saying. But not saying it's completely terrible type of film. It's a good, fun, kind of family film if you're looking for that. But you're looking for a Garfield film that is not fully recommended, just sort of accepted when you go in. You're going for a very, very different interpretation of Garfield. But be known, Garfield always made for the mainstream. It never was sort of loyal to what it was at the very beginning. It's because the creator of Garfield always meant to sell this like a IP. He never really cared about, oh, the artistry. This is how the true humor. No, no, no. The guy, unfortunately, was a sellout, not like a bad thing. That he made something very fun and interesting. Once more, I'm not dissing this franchise. I'm just sort of stating the fact. So does make sense. Even that the creator, when he sold this IP before he was done with it, even he was sort of changing the sort of idea of Garfield because at the very end, Garfield is just a merch kind of IP. That's all he really is. But it's true that the creator tempted to change Garfield. You could watch the other shows made by Garfield, like the French version of it. There also was the original American version back in the 80s that, in my opinion, was the best. Also, you have the Bill Murray. But if you see an adaptation that's just so different from the original because they're trying to evolve it, but yet not figure out what to do with this franchise. Even that, let's face it, this became sort of Hello Kitty. Not as an insult. It's more like sort of a realization what it is. And you're a fan, you still probably be happy. I have not yet chance to see it, but I will give it a chance when I have the time. But besides that, how you felt about Garfield? Do you care or do you know? And you're a fan, you just don't care, just want to see it because it's Garfield. Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, another one from ToonHub posting and reporting on their own Twitter account, Ghost in the Shell new animated series by Saru will be released 2026. And I'm sorry I butchered the anime company's name who making this new adaptation. Now, to be fair, Ghost in the Shell never was a home run. I mean, the last couple of adaptations was sort of disappointing. I think the last one is the first couple of tries was really good. The American version wasn't that good. It was sort of okay. In the Netflix one, it was sort of I still say it was good, but it also was sort of disappointing. It sort of missed the mark. But besides all that, Certain Saddle is a company that is sort of worth trusting because the best thing they're known of it is their animation, and they do usually land that animation pretty well. They always respect the source material. So if you want sort of realistic Ghost in the Shell, because people are sort of complaining of the Netflix version, it wasn't real enough. Like the models or the characters didn't feel the way that just too cartoony. This version would probably be more kind of grounded, more realistic. Maybe because it's certain Saru, they never really disappoint that much. So at least you had that realistic take down well, but story wise, we just don't know. And this could be really good, really bad, or really mediocre. We just don't know. But be fair, I'm not the biggest Ghost of the Shell fan. I do enjoy the franchise, but the only problem is it's the characters themselves. They're boring. I mean, they really don't have good character development. The whole franchise is the focus of the idea of this sort of futuristic cyberpunk detective drama that really works. Character wise, it's just like, yeah, I don't care. The only thing you kind of care is the major is the only one who has a personality, but it's not really that much to really sink your teeth in words. But other than that, that is just being honest. But it has the chance to be great of this version because let's face it, you're here for the ideas in the Silent Park detective sort of point of view downwards. All of that, are you excited or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Once again, this is from straight for Toon Hub, posting something very interesting for a animated pilot that is sort of indie. That this is sort of a pilot, but it's sort of a storyboard pilot. That it doesn't really have colors, just their drawings talking instead of sound effects. Now, the title of this pilot called Miss in Manhattan. The whole story of this is basically a young girl who actually lives in Manhattan, but she has sort of magical abilities to transform to a sphinx. That her duty is to protect of Manhattan of all the magical problems. Basically, it's basically American Dragon. If you've seen that animated series, it's the sort of similar idea of this, but we didn't know what was the whole story or thing to be more mature, more not. You can watch the pilot if you want to know more. But interesting enough, this actually have more kind of backstory of the creation of Miss Manhattan because of the creator Mike says this was actually a canceled graphic novel. They did a lot of work with it, but the last minute they decided to cancel it. He doesn't know why, he just did. This was sort of given sort of depression, but to get out of his depression to do something, he decided to make this sort of a animatic pilot of the graphic novel. This actually goes the first couple of chapters of the original novel. And that's it. He just made it to get out of his own system. But it actually is a really interesting pilot if you want to actually look at it because it's on YouTube. In fact, it's right now, people view this pilot about 319 views on this actually recording because this was dropped yesterday. So they have at least good 24 hours for people who are interested in actually watching it. But people do leave, people who leave comments down below, they really like it. This one has potential. Just FYI, if you see this specific character on Twitter, that means it's getting more popular and maybe this has potential. Maybe. That if you want to see it, it's on YouTube. You can find it there in the same title name. If you are interested, if you want to support this, because let's face it, we must support all our indie fellow animators because you want to show Hollywood what we want. You have to support all the indies. Only the indies do you think you like to support it. If you're not, what's the point? Keep giving us the same crap over and over again in animation. You want change, you have to basically uh, watch and like and actually tweet out this type of pilots. That's all I can say of this interesting news. Let's talk about the next news of this cartoon breaking news. Now, another one from TubeHub that I really need to talk about it because I wasn't sure that I did talk about it. I'm not sure. It's all about Scavenger Range. Will be streaming on Netflix on 1 week from March 31st. If you don't know what Scavenger Range is, it's basically a original mech series was sort of canceled, but this anime series is from Titmouse, and this anime series, adult anime series, actually is really good. In fact, I did a review of First Impression. Did not have time to do the whole season, but it's that good. It's a sci-fi sort of kind of survive of the world with three different characters. Each different characters have a partner, and all three of them sort of connected to the sort of main story of surviving this planet. But the whole story gives little hints of what they did wrong in that specific time. This sort of ship breaks down, and you see each individual survivor how they got there and how they get out. You also trying to survive the wilderness of this new strange planet. It is very trippy, over the top. It is good, but it's extremely sci-fi. If you're interested in that sort of, let's say, Star Trek, one of the leaders, or just say a Star Trek normal ship breaks down in a planet and everybody that died except for three people. It's all about these three people exploring this world and figuring out how to escape. And that's it. It's not that complicated, but it is very trippy, very sci-fi, but really good. But unfortunately, this one actually got canceled. But Netflix was interesting because it was trending, at least in Twitter. But interesting enough, they want to pick it up, but they're not sure. It's all about what happens when they drop this on Netflix. If this trends to number one, it actually lasts 1 or 2, 3 weeks straight, they will renew it and buy it from WB. So if you want adult cartoons more like these, you must prove that. You must actually watch this, watch it with a friend, watch it with others, talk about, convince your friends to watch it because it's one of those sci-fi adult cartoons could actually change the landscape. But just be warned, it is kind of weird, but it's sort of worth it. It's one of those quite literally binge watchable. You want to just sit down, you want to not let go. You want to see what happens next. The interpretation, who the people who trust, who not trust of this or this sort of strange alien is helping me or not. It's just so interesting and provocative. You just want to know more. This is how good this really is. Now, I repeat again, if you want more adult cartoons like this, you must actually watch it. Actually ask your friend to watch it with you and rewatch it again just to get numbers. At least to get season 2. If we have 2 seasons, better than nothing. But besides that, do you care? Do you not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Again, another one with Toon Hub posting on their Twitter account that is a very interesting film called A Robot Dreaming. That is basically based on a book graphic novel became an animated movie. And this is sort of a mature animated movie that people are highly recommended. If you like Spider-Verse or any other film of animation adult, this is for you. Especially if you love Wally. If you love Wally, you probably love this. The whole point of the story is basically a dog who was sort of bored and lonely, saw this sort of commercial and decided to buy this sort of kind of sales pitch about a robot. He bought it and he got get closer to this robot, a very strong relationship. This is the whole point, makes the whole film really good because it has no dialogue. It's about the relationship we have with someone else. Something happens in between like the first half of the film, and that's to sort of have a different relationship with someone else. The robot move on with this is someone else, something happened to the dog, and they finally remit again, but realizing can't really continue this relationship or they can't, and they cannot let it go. That's basically the whole pitch of this film. But you can reinterpret it so many different ways. There are different reviews pointing out how interesting this story really is because you have to reinterpret everything. And I think this is sort of still kind of PG. I'm not sure the rating, maybe PG-13, but it's super well made. It actually is so good. It was close to winning the Oscar, but let's face it, it's one of those films was dropped in the wrong time because it was too much competition. But other than that, it's something that is highly recommended. I did not yet see it. I kind of want to see it. I'm going to wait my chance to actually see it and see if it's that good. If it is, I probably make a review, or at least what is my interpretation. I'm not sure. I gotta wait with actually drops. But besides that, just be ready in trying to maybe prove to Hollywood we want this type of films. We want more mature adult cartoons. That doesn't need to be rated R. PG-13 is fine. I mean, you don't need to get that hard. But besides that, it's up to you what you think. Do you care or you don't? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Today, Toon Hub is on fire because they keep pitching good ideas left and right of the cartoon. And today they also posted something very funny, interesting, that Lucky Daisy miniseries called Onto. That's the episode name of this sort of miniseries episodes that is sort of supposed to sort of give more understanding of the characters of the original party, Lucky Daisy. But I have seen the short, and right now is viewed close to half a million views of this second episode miniseries. But I have to admit, it is very good. The whole pilot, at least this second episode, is all focused on Ivy, how was she was sort of introduced by most of the gang, understanding what they actually do, and why she sort of started to get interested of this sort of gang sort of world. But it's short. It's like 4 to 5 minutes. It is really good. And Ivy, seeing her very young self, it is very adorable. You also, I love how she connected to the two main thugs of this gang, how she interpreted and how talented she really is in observing and actually breaking down all their little flaws. Like she had a conversation, one of them realizing, are you a thug? Are you a gangster? How a gangster really is. Like she's so little but very intelligent. That you really just understand who is Ivy. And it's a really good short. I have to recommend it. After that, it's up to you if you want to see the rest of the two miniseries. They have this is the second miniseries, but I do recommend both of them. That honestly, I wanted to review it, but I don't have the time. If I did, I probably did a long time ago. I probably wait for the third mini episode. I probably talk all three of them at once. But besides that, how you felt about this mini episode? Does it help you to understand the party even more? Because they do show a small point that Ivy about to be killed by one of the gang rivals, but the relationship being so long with her, decide not to kill her. They don't say it. You just see his expression. And this mini episode really explores that. And that's sort of interesting. But besides that, it's up to you how you felt about this. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next news. Now, this cartoon news I sort of missed because I keep forgetting and I'm also kind of busy. But luckily, Doomhub sort of reposted on their Twitter account. He also adding more stuff to it. Is that Winx Club reboot are reporting to premiere on Netflix in 2025. But fans are a little mixed and worried because one, the animation or the leaked animation doesn't look that great. But people who don't understand animation, the leak animation is not really animation. It's sort of test footage. If you don't know what test footage is, especially in animation, it's basically the idea of what this art looks like, specifically this type of characters. Does it work? Or we change the art style into the characters, how they move, does it feel right? Does it complement the character? If it would be two leads, one in the main lead, understanding she have measured abilities, and the second is sort of her friend trying to run away with someone and getting stuck in the toilet. This is the only two scenes where you appear leaking of the original reboot of Winx Club. But on top of this, a new Twitter account, not new, it's sort of a, I guessing a worker on Winx Club reboot that I'm not 100% sure she's telling the truth or not, but Toonhub trusts her, so I guess it is sort of respected that she said on her Twitter account, and the Twitter account says, Alex, the rules, if I said that right, that she posted, the people who doesn't know, you do not need to worry if Netflix decide to cancel this reboot Winx Club. They cannot. They're just distributors. In other words, it doesn't trend the way Netflix wants. They can't do anything about it. If the creators of the owners of, I think it was Rainbow something, the company who owns this IP, if they decide to cancel it, it's their decision, not Netflix. Even that, after they do drop the whole season on Netflix, they also will drop it on television. So don't worry, this will probably have multiple seasons, but it's not yet clarified. One of the biggest questions the fans has to ask: this is sort of a continuation of the original or not? I think the fan says this was sort of supposed to be season 9, but I could be wrong because I'm not this deep lore of interest of Winx Club because I have a love-hate relationship. I like the idea, like the characters. It's just the sound effects is just sort of ruining for me. So this is the reason I can never get into it. Not because it's a girl cartoon. It doesn't really matter. It's only matters do you entertain me. And Winx Club does entertain me. It's just the sound effects just kills me. Like I can't watch this. They doesn't take itself seriously enough. You don't have to have gritty sound effects. You have to have these believable sound effects. Like you have comfortably understand someone hit someone, you feel the punch. You have to loosen enough for kids. I'm fine with that, but just feel believable, and that's the main issue I have. But the rest of the thing, I still enjoy. I hopefully the fans will be satisfied. Hopefully they fix the art style because the fans were complaining about the art style. Just remember, this is test footage. It's not perfect. It's not yet really fully realized what it actually could do. This is just sort of a quick 4 people team making this art because they just sort of curious, does it work with the IP? Or does it work the world of the character? Does it complement? If not, they rearrange it and change it a different way. Even that, when they actually finish, they actually do all the details to actually make it pop out. Just to let you know, because people are sort of confused. But that's all you know about this new reboot of Winx Club. Now, you're curious? Do you not care? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about news segment. Now, our next news statement, once again, is straight for Toon Hub, sort of reposting sort of a question from the head animator of Marvel Animated Studios called Brad Winderbaum. A very strange name. I never heard of that before. But anyway, he responded that question the fans keep asking. They will bring Spider-Man 90s back. And Brad Winderbaum responded, he cannot say he doesn't want to close the door or leave it open. He doesn't want to give a sort of oopsie, I talked and ruined the chance of Spider-Man 2 actually coming back. But for right now, X-Men 94 or X-Men 97 is the one is in charge right now. This anime series is bringing all the cameos of all the other 90s cartoons back. Depends how people received it and how popular X-Men 97 really is. There is maybe a probability, but once again, it all depends of X-Men 97. Just cross your fingers and hope. That's basically what he actually said, but all of that is up to you, how you felt about this. Do you want the original 97, the original 90s Spider-Man back? As a fan of Marvel, only the animated series, that I really want to see the 90s version Spider-Man come back because that was my version. But even that, I just wanted to sort of end because it left it as a cliffhanger that Peter Parker trying to find his girlfriend slash married wife because it did leave a sort of a cliffhanger that he was super close to finding her, but it ended there because he sort of defeated his ultimate evil self to get his word to find his girlfriend slash wife. That even I remember she wasn't her wife. The one of the biggest twists of that series that the woman he's married, Mary Jane, that wasn't Mary Jane. She was a clone, water clone Jusu. That's the best way to describe it. But that is how it went in this animated series, and I ate it up every single season. Even that, it is cheesy, it is over the top, but it's my Spider-Man. And I hope they bring it back for at least one season just to end the whole series, or at least a special 45 minutes special just to end it. Of course, you can see the original characters in X-Men 97 as a cameo if you choose to be, oh, they resolved that sort of plot thread in the series. But let's face it, we want to see what happened in between. This is good enough for me, but I still want the series to come back at least one season to see the hamminess of this version of Spider-Man. Tell me down below how you felt about this. You want Spider-Man back, 90 version or not? What do you think? I got nothing else to say, just talk about the next cartoon segment. Once again, another one from Toon Hub posting the new Miraculous World London special of Age of Tomorrow will be a 45-minute episode said to be late 2024. For right now, they don't have a specific month or day, but it will come out end of this year. But to be fair, I kind of lost interest. I watched the first two seasons because it's just sort of so much filler that I could not finish. But I heard the series got better, at least on season 5. Supposedly, they improved so many things, but the fan complained. But some fans do believe too little, too late, because how the show was sort of damaged. But other than that, honestly, I can't tell you that much. But for me, I'm slightly more interested. Maybe I go back. I don't know. It's up to you. How you felt? You try come back, watch the series, or just forget about it. But other than that, are you excited for this special? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon segment. Now, another one from Toonhub actually posting a sort of interesting question given to Jackie White, that is sort of the producer of My Adventures Superman. He says he really wrote basically the outlines of season 3 and season 4. If you don't know what outline is, basically saying they wrote the sort of the story ideas beat by beat what's gonna happen next for the next season 3 and season 4 if decided to greenlit it. But he cannot say it was greenlit or not greenlit. He just can only say he really did the sort of outlines in that said. This is not confirming, not confirmed to be greenlit. After that, it's sort of your own speculation. And that's all he actually said. But it's sort of very interesting. They decide to do this. The only thing they do this is for one specific reason. They have basically call on the ups to do for them. Basically, they are preparing for season 3 and season 4. That's it. It seems to me that is sort of admitting is greenlit, but at the same time, all depends what happened on season 2. This is just prep work. This is sort of normal in a way, but at the same time not normal. It depends on the company. It depends how much work in the project really is. Because My Adventure Superman, the animation is not cheap. They actually take their time and understand the character designs. Even that, a lot of animators do mock the art style, especially some of the character designs, because they feel they didn't really do the finishing enough work to represent that specific character. Not all the characters, but they are kind of mock some specific characters. Not all of them, but you get the idea. But all of that, are you prepared? Do you want this to be greenlit for season 3, season 4, at least officially? But for right now, you just call this unofficially greenlit. But besides that, are you hyped or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment you talk about an indie project that I did talk about, I think last time or last time, basically called Heart of Titan. Well, the same person who made the setup posted the new trailer of the Heart of Titan. If you don't know what it is, you have not seen the me talk about last time. Summary is basically 3 young adults who attempted to go in basically college, kind of got screwed over by the college course because their entry exam sort of got canceled, so they have no idea what to do. But on top of this, they sort of met this sort of disgraced prince who trying to figure out what to do next of his life. All 4 of them accidentally find some sort of secret conspiracy they must stop. But everything is sort of kind of mystery, sci-fi, over-the-top action comedy show. That's sort of the pitch of Heart of Titan. And the animated trailer looks pretty good. It looks pretty confident. It feels very interesting and fun. But for right now, we don't know if it'll be any good or not because this is indie. Indie goes over the place. But the trailer looks great, especially this sort of weird character, kind of clown evil person. I'm not sure. That's one of the few characters really stand out for me in the trailer, but it looks fun. In fact, are you hyped? Have you seen the trailer? Even the trailer actually has the sort of date to come out, be May the 23rd, possibly? Oh, so sorry. I have to load up. May the 20, oh no, May the 23rd, June the 27th will be sort of the live, I think, questionnaire, in other words. Give me a second here. Yeah, live questionnaire, in other words, on that specific day, or you actually are interested. You could find this on the trailer on YouTube and Twitter account of this sort of creator were called uh I can't find the name right now. I said it last time, it just I'm not good with names, but it basically called Heart of Titan. That's sort of the post. You can easily find it on Twitter. Or also just put it on YouTube if you want to see the Twitter on YouTube. They also have it there. I recommend at least watch it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. We don't know. But besides that, how you felt about it? I got nothing else to say. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, I went from Tube Hub something very interesting. It's basically a Tory Spy's cyberspace mission for a video game version of Season 7 of Tory Spies called Cyber Mission. Basically, will be dropping on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and also PC on October 31st. Now, describe the whole game of this is basically sort of kind of Spy Cooper. If you never played that game mostly is sort of trying to go inside the buildings, coming out, and taking sort of specific items, some specific characters. And this is sort of the idea of Totally Spies, but it seems could be sort of open world kind of way they do this game, because how they explain it is basically this evil villain take over the city, and you have to take them one by one using all the gadget of the three ladies. But it will be multiplayer, but if you choose, you could play as single player, doing missions and puzzles and attempt to get inside in some sort of locations of specific villains. And that's sort of the synopsis of this game. That is kind of interesting, but at the same time, I don't know, be any good. Not because it's a girl game, it's because every time they adapt a cartoon to a game, it's not as well made. It seems they just did it because to make money, because how popular the IP, Ben 10, Dragon Ball Z, all the other animated series do the same thing. It just sort of just do it because of the cash. They don't do it for the game. But I could be wrong. Not all IP based on cartoons actually are bad. Some of them are actually pretty good. But it's one of those things depends if they got it the first time. Then they don't, go be pretty terrible. For I have this one question: will you buy this game or not buy this game? Usually it's just sort of collectibles, and that's it. You still may have fun, but depends how they make the platform, how they go in, whether the Spire meant to actually make it work. But once more, it's up to you. Are you gonna buy? Are you interested or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. Now, this cartoon segment grabbed my attention. It's from Deadline, and the title says Bad Friends, an anime comedy from Andrew Stein and Bobby Lee, and then it works on Hulu. Now, the two people I mentioned in the photo, if you see it, is that basically are very famous podcast members who actually talk about their basically little things here and there. But I don't know much about them. But one thing I know is the little cut scenes I see on YouTube, and that's it, not but much. But supposedly their pitch of this anime series was sort of a kind of battle about the other networks trying to buy this from them because the other networks wanted it. But what is this pitch and what it make it so interesting? I think for two reasons. One, that both of them are prop comedians, so they can actually have skills making random jokes and can keep continuing the joke moving forward. But to make it interesting, is sort of their popularity of the podcast was based on called Bad Friend. Now they ordered 2 seasons of this from Hulu because Hulu is trying to prep this up to a more adult animated series, not just revive old animated series. They're trying to play the game well. They're also trying to make unique adult cartoons to make people subscribe to their channel. Now, what is the pitch? Because I am avoiding it. The whole pitch is basically both characters live in high school and how they are sort of awkward and strange and trying to sort of figure out how high school actually works. Basically, that's sort of the pitch. But it works because of those two. They are very popular. Both of them are just so likable. At least that's what I understand in the Deadline article. But they do order for 2 more seasons. So basically 20 episodes. I don't know if they're any good or not. In fact, you heard of them. Tell me about them a little bit down below. How you felt. You think they deserve an anime series. Even that, I think one of them did work a Fox, from Adult Swim, and also work on a Family Guy now words. But other than that, we don't know what would be the show. At least not yet till the trailer drop. Other than that, you have to wait about maybe 2 years, maybe three, depends how much material they have done and what kind of art style they would do. But I hope it'll be really good, not very that generic. But I'm just me being hopeful. Do you care? Do not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about our next cartoon segment. Now, our final segment for the day is sort of a joke, sort of news. Specifically, I posted on my comment section on YouTube that posted is confirmed villainous comes of multiverses. Someone posted a sort of a kind of a meme of breaking the code of multiverses, or putting all the different characters was sort of confirmed, and the very last one is villainous that we don't know which character to come out. But once again, it was a joke. It's from straight from Eddie, the basically the front of the pack of all fan villainy that he had contacts in Cartoon Network Mexico to actually basically confirm, not confirm, what is coming next of villainous. And some it's sort of fun to be awesome if this is true. But once more, it's a joke. Maybe my fault I didn't really make this clear enough. But once again, it's a little funny thing. What if it does? Hopefully, which character reappears in villainous up to you. You prefer Black Cat, Dementia, Dr. Flood, or Miss C to reappear as a representative of that specific IP. Tap it down below how you felt about that. I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.